my fellow Americans. This is former President Barack Hussein Obama, and you're listening to the Mad Titan Podcast. Please be sure to support this young brother from Chicago, Jay Washington, because he's a funny bastard. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
I ignored my destiny once. I cannot do that again. Even for you. I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
The Mad Titan Podcast with your host, Jay Washington.
Titans, go! What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It is episode 27 of the Mad Titan Podcast with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington. What's going on, everybody, man? It has been a long week, a tiresome week, and then some, but I am here. I know I had a delay, but if y'all understand my schedule now, you understand how tired I've been, how much I've been busting my ass more than normal, and, trying to do so many things in so many different ways. So before I go any further, I don't know if you guys have seen it already on social media. You probably have and have noticed the announcement. I am now proud to say I am an official member of the Collider Movie Talk team. Yes, I am. I will be on there as of now every single Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, with Perry Nemroff, who has been named the new host. So I am your Thursday host as well. And, it's dope, man. It's been a long time coming for a lot of people to see. And, so I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful to show more of what I'm able to do in the world of being a movie pundit, I guess, or, a film pundit, a TV pundit, and whatever the case you want to call me. But it's so dope, man. I'm so excited. I have so much love for the Collider crew. Those of you all know me know that. And I'm grateful that they have actually taken a look and appreciated what I brought to the table. And for me, that means a lot because there was another platform I was there religiously and, all of a sudden I got no love out of them. And it really hurt. It really stung. So to have this happen is so dope, and I'm grateful for it. But let me let y'all know I got my guest on the line this week. For some reason, I had to bring him back. It's just like I don't care about people sometimes. I just don't care about life. But I was like, fuck it. I'll drag him out the slums and bring him back. Y'all know him as the Jersey Jackass. I think he is still the ETCW Texas champion. I ain't going to say world champion because it's just Texas. It's just Texas. But he is the Jersey Jackass, my brother, my friend, BC Ben Cambell. What it is, broski?
ETCW World Heavyweight Champion of the world, Jay. Not the city, but the world. And I gotta ask, man, do you think that we will go to the symbiote planet in Venom 2?
Oh, so you want to get hung up on instantly, right? You want to in your part of this podcast quickly ask me about Venom 2. Let's not do that. That's just wrong. I hope we don't go nowhere, but that movie goes straight to hell in the cutting floor.
Are y'all going to talk about the possibilities of Tom Hardy joining the MCU on Thursday's AMC or Thursday's Movie Talks?
How can I politely say? First of all, let me let everybody know how this show goes. For if you're brand new checking out Mad Titan, this is barbershop talk for nerds. So it's just keeping it real, down to earth, laid back, and all that good shit. It means I'm gonna probably swear a lot because I'm gonna have to cuss him out, and I'm just gonna say things that's on my mind. So if you're gonna get offended quickly, go bye. We'll talk about that later. But how do I feel about that? I don't fucking think it'll ever happen. Tom Hardy would never. Because Tom Hardy don't fit in that universe.
So what you're telling me is you think it's going to be She-Venom that makes the jump over. That makes sense. Oh, I get it. You think Carnage is going to be there.
I see you again in July if you don't come up for the collision. So if I don't see you in June when you come up for the collision, I'll see you for sure in July at Comic-Con. And we're rooming together in a sense, and we got to work together because we got to do coverage together. So on day one, I'm going to kick you square in the dick. I feel like I need to let you know that.
Well, I appreciate fair warning.
You just know that's got to be the worst thing. Remember that episode of Family Guy after go with Stewie and Stewie was gonna get him back, and he was just so nervous the whole time. He was like, no, you know what? It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's coming. and then Brian was just nervous every single day, every waking moment, that's how you should feel.
I kind of feel that way every day of my life. So
you really should. This stuff for real. This kicks.
Apparently, I pissed a lot of people off.
Well, at least you understand. At least you understand and know it completely, and it won't be just like any aggression or any hostility. It's just like it is what it is. Okay.
It is what it is. Good.
So what's been going on with you, man?
Nothing, man. Just chilling, living, trying to make it through, trying to catch up on television. Now that we are through the Endgame, I'm trying to catch up on everything I missed since I was trying to watch everything Marvel leading up to that. So,
it's like I think things are slowly settling back into normal because. Like, the past 2 weeks, nothing has been able to be talked about but Avengers Endgame, which rightfully so. We'll talk about it in a minute. I'll go further in depth at what I want to talk about. But for the past 2 weeks, it's dominated all the talk, whether, nobody else could put anything out. But hell, Marvel could barely put anything else out with their own stuff because it's like, we just got to ride this wave, man. But speaking of which, matter of fact, we'll go right into it. We're speaking of Avengers Endgame. The reason it has been dominating for 2 weeks worth of conversation is because as of now, as of this date, as of the date I'm recording it, its worldwide box office gross is $2.2 billion.
That is absolutely insane. Opening weekend was crazy enough, but the fact that it is still running with this, and they're already at $2 billion. I'm assuming it's the fastest to $2 billion too, right?
No. So here's the thing: Avatar hit $2 billion.
The fastest to $2 billion.
It's the fastest to $2 billion. It's made $2 billion in 7 to 10 days.
Jesus Christ, man!
Go ahead.
Where was Avatar? Where did Avatar finish at?
Give me 1 second. Let me pull up that. Avatar's, I believe, is like 2.9. But that's so everybody's.
The question is
2 So this is Avatar's total box office, okay? And this is through. I just want you to know this is its total box office through its entire theatrical run. All right, $2.788 billion. That's through its entire run.
Which includes its re-release that it did for a little while,
right?
To get people back out there. So I'm wondering, the next big thing we have is seemingly Spider-Man?
It is, yeah.
So this is just going to continue to dominate until then. Do you think we could get another $800 million out of?
Absolutely. Remember, when we look at normal like box office drops per weekend and shit like that, you always see these major dips when you hit 50%, 60%, 70%, and it's a significant number in a drop, right? Well, this dropped 56% like that, but it still cracked $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it drops 50%, that's going to be $500 million. And that's just on the low end. The people who are going to see this repeated viewings consistently will keep seeing it, especially up until far. So, this is going to crack. This is going to beat Avatar's record no matter what. And I remember I was having a discussion with people. Matter of fact, I'm not going to go full into it because it's on the Patreon. You should be a member of the Supervillain Squad. People talking about, it doesn't, just because it made this money being Avengers Endgame doesn't mean it's a good movie. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this movie has grossed $2 billion in 10 days. No film has ever done that. They're
you don't make that money without repeat viewings. All right?
Exactly.
And you don't get repeat viewings if your movie sucks. All right? Justice League did not get repeat viewings.
Hell no, it didn't. And so you got people who were like, I hate this argument because they'll say, well, the Transformers movies are trash and they were generating all this money. And I'm like, that's not the same thing at all. And some people are like, well, what does box office revenue determine if it's a good movie? Again, most movies can hit, a blockbuster film can hit $1 billion. We get that. But for a film of this magnitude to do it as quick as it's done, it speaks volumes. For Captain Marvel to jump back in the box office for week number 2 after Avengers came out, it speaks volumes. And people need to stop trying to downplay what this movie is, what this movie has done, and what it is continuing to do. You know what I'm saying? That shit gets annoying. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be on this train of Marvel is high and mighty and infallible, because that shit is absolutely not true. Marvel can fail. They can have movies that don't hit the mark where you think they should hit. But nonetheless, when they do hit that mark, they hit it, they go above and beyond. And people gotta stop trying to downplay it because, A, if you're not a fan of the comic book movie genre, the superhero genre, whatnot, B, you think this is better, this is doing better than what you want to be at the top. Just appreciate and respect it for what the hell it is.
It really is. And like just like you're bringing up, like Captain Marvel jumped back into the top 5 when Endgame came out, which means, let's say Endgame starts to trail off a little bit. Well, in a month or so, when Spider-Man comes out, it's going to jump back up again because people are going to get hyped and want to see Endgame again right before they see Spider-Man. So it's still going to keep running and making more money, which is absolutely, and the thing about Transformers is, yeah, Transformers makes buttloads of money. However, it doesn't do as good domestically as Endgame did.
Exactly.
Endgame
and I think that's the biggest thing people don't get it.
Yeah. Endgame's breaking records domestically, not just worldwide, domestically, which is what Transformers has failed to do since the second or third one.
And people don't, again, we've come to understand and learn, like you said, a lot of box office for a lot of these shoot 'em up action adventure high blockbusters are focused overseas because they know they'll make that, they'll recoup all their send everything, their overhead overseas. But here, it was like, yo, with a production budget of $200 million, potentially, since people now all of a sudden were like, oh, well, the marketing budget doesn't count. You got to count the marketing budget separately. Okay, whatever. So if you're going to count the marketing budget as another $200 million, they've still done $650, which means all they need to do is hit $800 million domestically to quote unquote make this profit. And then, not to mention, we've got this whole other, $2 billion still sitting out there.
Not to mention that, there's all that talk that a lot of this was actually filmed back to back with Infinity War.
Absolutely.
So yeah, they went in and did some reshoots and stuff. So that $200 million is probably a part of Infinity War as well. So they are just printing cash with this thing.
And I think people forgot that. People thought that a lot of people forgot that these two movies, Infinity War and Endgame, were shot back to back. Oh, by the way, let me let y'all know this too if you're listening. As we record this, the Russo brothers have put out that the spoiler ban is officially up. So if you ain't seen this shit by now, that's on you.
I love that they are out here going, yo, spoiler ban's up. You can talk about it now.
Because everybody was like, oh, y'all should wait till everybody see it. Like, yo, it's been 7 days. This movie was playing when its first weekend. It was playing 24 hours a day nonstop in theaters. It's been multiple opportunities to go see this shit. So,
And that's what's even more funny because let's say the Russos come in and go, yo, spoiler ban's up. You could talk about it. Now the people who haven't seen it are like, oh crap, I got to get and see it right now. That's going to help the box office this week even more.
More.
And that spoiler conversation, Jesus Christ, these people are driving me nuts, Jay. Bro, I can't even tell you. I'm like, look, I don't ever get spoiled of stuff because if there's something I don't want to see, bitch, I stay off the internet.
It's not even that. It's that, and also my biggest thing has also been the whole if somebody telling you one little thing that happened, like if somebody's saying, man, Iron Man dies, right? If that spoils the whole movie for you, you need to really reevaluate your life.
Yeah.
Because I don't get how one thing is not going to change your entire experience because you know it happens. The thing is, you don't know when it happens.
Or how it happens.
Or how it happens.
What the aspect is.
Yeah, everything that goes into it.
And don't get me wrong. If I'm in that theater, if I'm waiting in line where that kid walked out and started yelling out spoilers, I'm beating his ass. That's happening. I'm beating his ass.
Okay,
but
that is a different story. That is a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm literally about to go in the theater, I don't care at this point. Like you can tell me something up until then, but I'm walking in the theater and you come out saying that, I'm stomping your motherfucking earlobes together.
But as far as like social media, like, look, it's your responsibility not to go search this stuff out. All right. Yeah. People are going to want to talk about it, especially on social media. So don't be getting out there and seeing all that crap. It's your job to stay the F away.
Again, people want to complain about shit. They
Oh
just
my
wanted
God, Game of Thrones was so dark I couldn't see. Turn the brightness up on your television.
You know, it just.
Internet just wants a bitch.
Hey Lala, hold on for a sec. So hey Lala, how are you? So I'm talking as well on Live AF as I'm recording an episode of my podcast. So I kind of fixed it. So now there was static on the end. So, you know, now everybody, when they listen to the podcast, they're like, yo, what was he doing at that point in time? Like, he was fixing the audio from the stream to the audio.
Most random, like, extra podcast stuff. Like, oh yeah, I was also streaming while I was recording.
Hey man, you gotta try to multitask in this world nowadays. I feel like that's the best thing you gotta do. But speaking of
many social medias,
man. But let's go a little bit further from Endgame. Well, not that much. Spider-Man Far From Home, the trailer dropped today, man. The trailer was dope. Now, you said you did not want to watch the trailer. Why is that?
All right, so here's the thing, Jay, and it has nothing to do with spoilers or thing, because I trust in Marvel. Marvel, like the Endgame spoilers or the Endgame trailers were a trailer for the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Right.
Like, they didn't tell you a damn thing what that movie was about. But it's more along the lines of trailers today just show a lot of the images. And seeing the images on a giant screen in the theater, like, you know, that atmosphere is something I love to do. Trailers are made to sell you on the movie. Spider-Man Homecoming already has my money. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Spider-Man Homecoming came out a year ago.
Far From Home. Whatever.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So
shut up. Well, Homecoming has my money too. Far From Home already has my money. I've already got a ticket. I'm already going. I don't need to see anything else. Like, I take it like the Rogue One trailers. I watched the first trailer, right? And I didn't watch any more. So I never saw that scene where Darth Vader is walking out of the smoke, right? So when I'm sitting in the movie and I see that scene for the first time, it was an emotional moment for me.
Okay, here's the thing.
And that's just how I am with it.
Okay, here's why I'm finna stop you real quick with that. To say, now granted, some trailers will spoil a lot of the movie. Some trailers will actually make you like, oh, well, I didn't want to know all this, that, and the third. The one thing I can credit definitely to Sony and Marvel about this trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home is that they actually had Tom Holland do a prologue to let you know. Hey, which was weird, the kid telling you that there's going to be spoilers, who always gives away spoilers.
I know, right?
But no, I was like, what? But he says, listen, we're about to see the trailer. If you have not seen Endgame, do not watch the trailer. But if you've seen it, go ahead. So that's that. But at the same time, now we know the reason we had to see it like that, because now we know the place in which it fits in the MCU, because Kevin Feige did say the Spider-Man Far From Home was the end of phase 3. And I was like, okay. And I said it numerous times on this podcast. I've said it on Collider. I've said it anywhere I've been around. My theory on where Spider-Man Far From Home fell. I thought it was a prequel in between.
I did too.
I thought it was the sequel to Homecoming right before Infinity War. It is literally right after Endgame. It is officially after Endgame.
And the Russos even said that Far From Home is going to deal with the fact that there are people that have lost 5 years of their lives.
Okay, also, yeah, but at the same time, let's just keep it all the way 100. How much can we trust the Russo brothers?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't say that as a bad way at all for anybody listening. I don't say, well, how can we trust the Russo brothers as like they just lie to us. They have been cleverly deceptive. They have made you think and look at things in different ways and different fashions and spin your mind on a whole different things. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad for what they do. I'm all the way here for it. I am all the way here for it. But when they tell you certain things and then you're like, okay, but you said certain stuff ain't in trailers, it's in the movies and blah, blah, blah. You think about that. But nonetheless, there was one line that you have to watch this trailer, bro.
I heard, I've been watching you post about the one line.
There is one line, because Spider-Man so long story short, and I'm going to tell you regardless, you already know how it goes.
It's fine. I don't mind people telling me about the trailer. It's just, I don't want to actually see the imagery.
I hate
That's
so much for not wanting to see it. Well, Quentin Beck, Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio, is from another universe. Fury tells Spider-Man that the snap opened up portals to open up other dimensions, which it kind of did. But also what that says real quick is now we potentially can get Secret Wars down the line. So Mysterio is from another dimension. He's not from this earth. And Spider-Man is just trying to have his little trip with his class. Like, yo, I'm trying to get back to life. Because, again, for him, it wasn't 5 years. It was probably like 5 seconds or 5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he was just like, I must have passed out. There was ash, and then I passed out. Now I'm awake. Like, yeah.
Right. So it was instantaneous. But he says, I want to go back to my trip. And he's like, can't you have Thor do this? He's like, Thor's off world. Can't you have Captain Marvel? Not available. He's like, man, I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And Nick Fury looks at him and says, bitch, please, you've been to space. I think I fell out laughing at the gym when I was watching that. He said, classic. Bitch, please, you've been to space. That is classic. And I think it's going to, like I said, it's definitely going to set the tone. But the fact that they brought up the issue of different universes, it lets you know Secret Wars may be down the pipeline. And if Secret Wars is down the pipeline, I think I know who may be our big bad going forward.
Here's the only question I'm going to ask before you get into that is, because we know the story of Mysterio. Mysterio is someone who, he was a stuntman. He wanted to be a hero. So he created these bad guys, blah, 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 blah. Do you think he's full of shit saying he's from another dimension? And
that's what I do think it is. I think that's a possibility. I think the dimensions are open though. I think for sure the dimensions are there, but I think he's full of shit as far as, I came from a different dimension and blah, 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 blah. I 100% agree with that.
So if the dimensions are open, do you think this is a way that leads us to the Fantastic Four and the X-Men?
Well, the X-Men and more so the Fantastic Four come from the snap, and I'll tell you why. Rocket says it.
Let me hear it.
Rocket says it in Endgame when he says, when Thanos snapped, Earth became ground zero from cosmic waves of a massive proportion. Radiation emissions went everywhere. So that is how you transform mutants.
Okay.
So, and that is also how you could pretend Reed Richards could have been working on something, and at the same time the snap happens, that could have been how, again, cosmic radiation. Cosmic wave. That works for the Fantastic Four as well. Radiation emissions, X-Men. You get what I'm saying? You see how it goes hand in hand?
The only thing that worries me about that is then how do we get things like Wolverine's history? Well,
again, there are we might change Wolverine, make him older. Again, 5 years may have passed when all of that happened. So we don't know if he was already growing up older and having a healing factor. We don't know this for sure.
Yeah.
And I trust Kevin Feige and all of them to flush it out.
I do too. Okay, so anyway, back to what you were saying though. You think this leads to who our next big bad is?
Yes, I do.
Hit me with it. What are you saying?
Dr. Doom.
That's what I was hoping. I was hoping that it would be Doom, and Doom wouldn't just be a villain in a Fantastic Four movie, but it would be someone that we're going to build to overall. Because
we've had the cosmic global threat of Thanos. Right?
Because you can't just do Galactus, because that's almost doing the same thing.
It's literally doing the same thing. Kang the Conqueror damn near is doing the same thing. So who else go ahead.
I was thinking it'll be something along the lines of Doom and maybe Magneto as well. Like them two together somehow.
I think that's pushing. I think that's wanting to hurry up and rush everything together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's wanting to say, let's get this X-Men and get this all the way in right now, because I don't know if you heard, we're not getting another Avengers team-up movie for a very, very long time. And I told somebody hit me up on Twitter about this. They were like, do you really believe that it'll be like 7 to 8 years before we get another Avengers movie? And I said it on Collider Mailbag, and I'm like, yeah, here's why I'll tell you why it'll be so long. First and foremost, we have to get the sequels and the follow-up movies from all these different characters that are doing their follow-up movies, right? That takes you at minimum 5 years ahead, no matter what. All that's going to be at least 5 years. Okay?
Yeah.
Then you still have to go into production with certain other ones. And by the time all that goes around, and to even schedule and start producing and writing a script for another Avengers movie, you're at the 7 to 8 year mark by the time you even start filming that. So that's why it can't be done in 3-4 years, because in 3-4 years, we'll have Black Panther 2, we'll have Doctor Strange 2, we'll have Guardians 3,
Ant-Man 3,
Ant-Man 3. Speaking of Guardians 3, it is set to begin filming in 2020 next year. This is after James Gunn is completely done with shooting, editing, post-production, everything for the Suicide Squad. I got information on that. I'll talk about that in a moment as well. Some dope news that I liked. If you were a fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last season.
Yeah!
When they did it into 3 individual seasons, this is going to be news you're going to love. Gabriel Luna will be back as Robbie Reyes as the Ghost Rider in his own series coming to Hulu in 2020.
I think this bodes well, not just for, because that was the best part of that season, was the Ghost Rider story arc.
Absolutely was.
So much fun. Putting it now on Hulu gives it a lot more money and lets them actually focus on the Ghost Rider more than just Robbie Reyes. Like, you know, because they did a lot to work around the fact that they probably didn't have the money to constantly use Ghost Rider. Yeah, now they're really going to be able to go into it. And I think this also bodes well for the Netflix series we were talking about earlier. I think
it gets to be dark.
They're bringing some of the TV stuff from the other era back. Hold
on. Go back and say, they're bringing stuff from the TV, whatever you were saying.
Oh, so they're bringing stuff from the old TV era back too, not just this new shit? That's going to be a big marker to say, yo, we could still bring back Charlie Cox's Daredevil, all the Defenders characters on Hulu. You know, just the fact that Gabriel Luna is coming back and they're bringing in S.H.I.E.L.D. because they're looking at these new era of TV shows are a lot different than what they look, but it doesn't look like they're forgetting what they've done.
Oh, right. And I agree. I'm all behind it 100%, and I'm cool with that because, again, everybody was like, well, I want to go to Disney Plus. Somebody was arguing with me, well, not arguing, was pretty much trying to debate me on it, saying, why is it not going to Disney Plus? This is just Disney trying to get a cash grab. I was like, first of all, they own Hulu. The average person has a Hulu stream already. But it's not a cash grab. It's a smart move because everybody was wondering how would Deadpool do, how would all these dark R-rated level projects they have that are Marvel based, how would they work on Disney Plus? Well, they don't have to because now Disney owns Hulu, and that is the perfect place to put them. And also remember, Marvel has Runaways on Hulu.
Exactly. And plus the extra shows that are like the Howard the Duck and all those other ones they announced, they've got this working relationship with Hulu, not working, but since they own them, you're going to be able to bundle Disney. Well,
the working relationship is from Runaways though.
Yeah. Plus, but they did announce that there's going to be bundle options for Hulu and Disney Plus, right?
I believe so. Yeah. So it's like they're not really going to lose out.
No.
You know, you're not really going to lose out. So, but that's it. You know,
nevertheless. Gabriel Luna was so good as Ghost Rider, man.
Oh, he was amazing as Ghost Rider, dude. Also, we are getting Hellstrom. Yes, we're getting the Son of Satan series coming in 2020 as well to Hulu. And you know that's going to be dark. So you know for a fact that's definitely going to Hulu. That is not going to Disney Plus. Talking about the Son of Satan? No, we're good on that one.
Now that one, I don't know much about the history of that one at all.
I am very vague on my history of it. I'll do some research on it and follow up about it. I may do this as an exclusive Patreon thing when I talk about Hellstrom. So Hellstorm. So what you want to do again? Go to the Patreon, patreon.com, and you'll hear that stuff. So yeah. But let's see. I'm happy for that. I'm happy to hear that information. Now, this is some news that's kind of sad to me because I was sad when it was announced that it was going. But at least I know when it's going to start premiering. Legion now has a premiere date for its final season, and that is June 24th. Do we get to cry over this now?
Legion is. I actually have not watched Legion.
Why not? Legion is one of the best. Legion is so dope, but the thing with Legion is you literally have to watch the TV. You cannot be on your phone.
That's
you can't
why.
be on social media, anything.
I've started it. I've watched the pilot 4 times. And I've never, I always think, okay, I have to pay attention. And I got ADHD, bro. I got all this other stuff going on. I'll turn things on. I'll start doing dishes. I'll do things around the house. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, what? Hold on. So I've got to find the time to carve out and watch this show. That's one of the reasons I never got into Westworld because I didn't have time to just sit down.
Well, here's the thing you should do. If you need to get some focus and clarity, I have an edible you can take or just smoke some good weed.
Bruh, come on, man.
Yeah, because you can't drink. Because last thing we need for you to do, try to watch a show like that, you need to pay attention to and drinking because you can't focus at all. So.
Oh, you know that. You know me too well, Jay.
I've been around you when we're supposed to just talk about stuff and you've been drunk and you're like, but let me tell you what we need to do. And I'm like, man, if you don't get your on track, but
so excited for San Diego.
Oh my God. I don't know if I can prepare myself mentally for what's about to happen this year in San Diego. But here's a breakdown of the third season. For those who saw the second season, the end of the season showed us that the actual bad guy, the actual villain of the show, is not the Shadow King. It's actually David. He's the actual villain of the show. The person everybody think, oh, he's this powerful mutant, which he is. He's an Omega level mutant, but he's the bad guy of the show. So now him and having Lenny on the side, it will deal with all the people at Shadowland, Sid, the Shadow King himself, Patanomy, and more, trying to figure out how to stop him. But here is also something that's dope that I'm glad they're finally doing in the final season, and I'm glad they waited to the end to do it, because had they done this and jumped the shark too early, it would have threw a lot of people off. We are getting David's parents.
Oh, that's interesting.
We are getting, we're getting his Professor Charles Xavier, who is his father, and Gabrielle, who is his mother. Gabrielle will be played by Stephanie Corneliuson from DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and Charles Xavier is going to be played by Harry Lloyd from Game of Thrones.
Ooh, that's good casting too. I kind of like that.
I like it very much. That's some good casting.
Again, like everyone raves about Legion, so I have to sit down and watch this, man. It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't had the time to sit down and focus on it. So I am really interested to get in. And you could say, it's sad that this is its final season, but sometimes it's really good for them to do that, because rather than drag it on and not know, they have an ending. They knew this was their final season and they go into it knowing that. Sometimes that really works out.
Yeah, and I think that works. I think that's the best thing about it, to know where your end point is, to know where your end game is, for lack of better words. But sometimes a lot of shows write seasons where it's in case we don't get canceled, we still have an opening. But if we do get canceled, let's just leave everybody wondering.
Unlike Gifted, that ended with like a big giant cliffhanger, and you're like, all right, sweet. Oh, it's canceled? Shit.
Yo, the Gifted, the way they did it, the Gifted ended with just the hopes. It wasn't the whole, we'll leave you wondering. The Gifted ended with that whole, they're going to keep us, right? That's literally how the Gifted ended. And the problem was, I think the Gifted should have wrote their second and final season more under the knowledge that Disney is going to acquire them. We already know the X-Men as we know them are going to be gone. Granted, we've never seen them, so the transition into the universe could have been, I guess, similar or whatnot, because of Blink being able to open portals. But who knows? Who knows? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., speaking of that, we talked about it earlier. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just dropped their trailer for their season 6. Coulson is back, and he is the bad guy. I guess he's a shapeshifter or something that's from another world that looks like Phil Coulson, and has got everybody on the team messed up in the head. Mac is running the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he's like, I'll never be a better director than Phil Coulson. And we're like, yeah, we know you won't. You can't get over a chick that moves super fast who sometimes don't want to be bothered with you.
Here's my question, Jay. So I've just rewatched S.H.I.E.L.D. for the first time, like all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And watching S.H.I.E.L.D. after watching Captain Marvel really kind of steps that show up a little bit. Like, I don't know if they tried to do it or not, but they really add a lot because there's so much with the Kree. With Coulson back as somebody else, do you think he could be a Skrull now?
That's what I'm thinking. I am literally thinking Coulson is a super Skrull.
Which could be really cool to see.
Again, Marvel and DC TV shows and movies, leave them here. I'm told you I'm doing this thing live, so I'm asking the streamers if they have questions to leave them here while I'm broadcasting, so they can get those out and they can feel a part of the conversation. This is gonna be very interesting. What'd you say?
That was just funny. Part of the conversation.
Part of the conversation.
That was cute, bro.
So yeah, but what we're doing is, I think definitely having the Super Skrulls potentially, because I think it was setting up for that at the end of Captain Marvel with the kid. With the kid who saw, Talos' kid who saw her or his father. I didn't know if that was a boy or girl, but Talos' kid who saw their father die.
Yeah.
So it set that up. So yeah, that premieres May 10th. So we are getting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the end of this week, which means I'm going to go check on my Disney ABC press site and see if I can watch the season premiere now.
I really need to sign up for that.
Well, you got to have press credentials to get that.
I have press credentials. You're such an ass, man.
You got to be somebody important, bro. Listen, I'm going to make...
Vaguely important.
I'm going to help make you important, my dude. I'm going to help make you important, my dude, because I care.
My man.
I'm going to work on that, give you that guest spot on the show. It'll work. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm going to work.
It's going to take a lot of time.
Also, Jessica Jones, this is so sad. Like, the promotion and the publicity and the marketing is about to go heavy for Jessica Jones. But at the same time, Jessica Jones has already been canceled. So, like, you're going to watch this third season and be like, well, I should just watch the last episode and see what happens, how they say goodbye, right?
Here's my other question, though, is I love how this one, since they know they're canceled before it aired, it's like the final season of Jessica Jones.
See how drunk Jessica Jones gets this season.
None of the others got the final season. It was just the next season. And then like, oh, we're canceled. But Jessica was like,
we had hope.
This is the final season. Did we film it knowing it was the final season? No, but we're going to promote it knowing it is.
So when I was in Salt Lake City and I had at FanX Salt Lake Comic Con, again, shout out to all the people out there. Thank you guys for bringing me down and bringing me out. Hopefully I can be back in September. For those who are listening to this, I got a chance to hang out with Mike Coulter. Everybody knows that, I was kicking it with Luke Cage. Like legit kicking it. We was kicking it, having drinks.
I kind of marked out seeing that.
I bet you did. But no, one of the things we were talking about was the cancellation. And he said they were already into the production ideas. They had 5-6 episodes for season 3 already laid out. Then they got the notice that they had been canceled, man. I always send my love to the homie Cheo Hidari Coker, who is the showrunner. Cheo's the homie. And, man, he deserved to be able to finish out his story.
Yeah, because, all those seasons ended on such cliffhangers. Luke Cage running basically the crime in,
right,
Harlem.
Crime in Harlem, yeah.
Iron Fist, just everyone having fists and guns and weird things. And Daredevil, I don't remember how 3
Daredevil actually had a closure. When you think about it. Daredevil had the closure with Foggy, Karen, and Matt sitting down in the deli eating. I was like, oh, this is how we should be back together. That was a happily ever after moment for Daredevil. The Punishers, I cannot really... To be honest, I can't remember the Punisher's end.
I'm not going to lie. I still have one episode of Punisher to get through. I did not finish my actual Marvel marathon. I kind of had to cut some stuff out. I ran out of time.
I don't know why you... Again, I feel like you really need to find a girlfriend, a woman or something. Because if you sat there and tried to watch all of that, again, how I'm going to catch up with the MCU? No, I'm not going to watch 22 movies. I'm going to watch everything involved with the MCU. That is just like somebody hug this man.
I could use a hug.
Ladies, if you're looking for a gentleman in Texas who can have fun with you, pick you up, and get you drunk, hit up BC. Please.
How you doing? At Real Jackass BC, RELJCKASS BC, World Heavyweight Champion.
You were good with everything until you brought up the World Heavyweight Champion part. I was good with everything. I was like, all right.
World Heavyweight Champion.
All right, let's go on to DC News, man. In DC News, the Suicide Squad is loading up on its characters, right? So now we have our Polka Dot Man, first and foremost. He is played by Ant-Man actor. I'm going to mess his name up so bad. David Dasmalchian.
I ain't even going to try. I'm just calling him David D.
David Dasmalchian. David D. He will be playing Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. Now this lineup is getting dope for the new characters we're seeing. Of course, Margot Robbie is returning as Harley Quinn. Okay, Jai Courtney is coming back as Captain Boomerang. Rick Flag is coming back. Joe Kinnaman is coming back as Rick Flag.
Really? I heard Joe Kinnaman was not. That's good to know.
No, I just need him shot in the face in the first 6 minutes. And I'm like, shoot Rick Flag in the face in the first 6 minutes, and I'm good. That sounds really wrong, I know. But nonetheless, but also he joins Idris Elba in a role we have not disclosed who he's playing yet. Because remember, everybody thought he was taking over Will Smith's Deadshot, but he's not. And then
I still think he was taking over Deadshot, and then Will Smith is like, yo, wait, hold up. I still want to come back eventually. They're like, oh, okay, let's just give Idris Elba a different character.
And then people thought he was going to play Peacemaker. Well, that changed when it became John Cena. And so there's no telling who Idris Elba is playing unless they finna pull it out of the bag, pull a rabbit out the hat, and make him Bronze Tiger. That's the only way I see him going with this.
It could be, he'd be a really good Bronze Tiger.
Or I'd still go with King Shark. I'm telling you, if it's Idris Elba for King Shark, I'm here.
Yeah, but I mean, would that be, do you think they'd do it like they did Killer Croc, or do you think they'd do more like Hulk with the motion capture?
They'll probably do what they did with the motion capture, because King Shark is way bigger than Killer Croc.
Yeah.
So Killer Croc works is using a person with makeup and prosthetics on. That works. Killer Croc works that way. Saying this shit 3 times fast really is tongue-tying the hell out of me. Because I keep confusing these fucking characters. Saying Killer Croc works with makeup and prosthesis. King Shark works when you do them the way they did Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. Got it all out.
You know, now, I actually really liked the Flash's version of King Shark.
Oh, I definitely liked it. And again, that's probably one of the few things about the Flash I started to like. Hey, Jessica, how are you?
It really made me want a Street Sharks movie. Come on, bro.
Given the fact I'm one of the only 8 people who probably remember Street Sharks, it's like, yes, I'm here for it, but like everybody else is like, what the fuck is a Street Shark?
Just look up Vin Diesel Street Sharks. There you go.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh, also, have you not seen the commercial, the Vin Diesel Street Shark commercial?
No, and please don't remind me, and I don't want to see it. I don't.
Oh my God, it was his first role. He's doing like with the little hand puppet Street Sharks, and he was like trying to sell them for them. It's fantastic.
Hold on, you know what? Even though this is on audio, y'all finna hear me watch this for the first time. Vin Diesel Street. Oh my God, please.
It was literally like his first role ever.
Okay. So shut your face. Oh God. Oh dear God. This is gonna be bad. It's 3 minutes. Oh, what?
You'll get the gist in a couple seconds.
Turn the volume down, son. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
I'm telling you.
Oh, this is so terrifying. Oh, it's a piranha. What the? Oh,
he got that weird ass fade.
Oh, not Mark Vincent. No. Who knew he would go from a street shark to saying I am Groot? Oh, this is so bad. This is so much more. You know what, Vin Diesel? You deserve getting Fast and the Furious. You earned it, sir. You earned it so much after this. Oh.
His fade, bro. His fade is what's hilarious.
Why am I watching this? It's so bad. What was I talking about beforehand? King Shark.
King Shark.
Street Shark. But also, speaking of King Shark, we also have another member of the Suicide Squad. We have our Ratcatcher now. Now, Ratcatcher is normally a dude, but they have actually gender switched this for the movie. It is going to be played by a woman. She is a new up-and-coming actress from Portugal. She's Portuguese. It's Daniela Melchores. She's going to be the role of Ratcatcher. Now, here's the interesting part. She's going to be a surrogate daughter to Deadshot, which is...
A surrogate daughter?
But, so, that's why I'm confused now. Because Zoe is his daughter in the Suicide Squad, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying, like, his daughter biologically, like, she's not the surrogate daughter. And then, like, I know what I saw on Arrow, like, because Michael Jai White had Connor, but Connor becomes Connor Hawk. And I'm just like, I don't know, but I trust James Gunn. And so I'm like, he can do no wrong by me when it comes to these movies. So, it's cool.
That's true. I mean, I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this. It's such a weird ass lineup. Like, if Idris Elba is another random weird ass character, I'm going to be shocked and not Bronze Tiger because we need another, I think, name. Cause other than Margot Robbie and King Shark, I don't know any of these characters. Polka Dot Man, I got no freaking clue who that is.
Yo, give me Condiment King, bro. Give me
Hell
Condiment King.
Hell yeah. Condiment King all day.
Shoot, ketchup and mustard it, bro. Bitch, I'll kill you with this. Bitch, I'll kill you with this Heinz 57 flavor.
And you got a character being played by somebody who no one's going to be able to see, and then, you know, Rick Flag's back, and shoot him in the face in the first 5 minutes. And everyone's like, well, no one else is coming back. Oh, Captain Boomerang's coming back? That's really random, but
shoot
okay.
Him in the face in the first 3 minutes. I know it sounds like I'm advocating a lot of murder in the Suicide Squad.
Yo, have you ever watched the first Suicide Squad?
And that's what I'm gonna say. If you've ever seen the first Suicide Squad, you know why I'm advocating all of this murder.
But with the thought of, man, how would this be different if Tom Hardy had stayed on it?
Oh, it'd have been worse.
Right, like Tom Hardy as Rick Flag? I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if I could see Tom Hardy doing this because it's so weird.
Why do you have such a hard-on for Tom Hardy? That's a really big question.
Because he's in this really good movie called Venom. It's so awesome, bro.
Venom is not a good movie. I feel like to all my listeners, if you believe that Venom is a good movie, I question your taste in life and living. Like, I feel like your quality of life isn't normal. I feel like you sleep on an air mattress with nails in it. Like, if you think Venom is a good movie, I believe your pillow is made out of old gym shoes you found playing over power lines. Like, if you believe Venom is a good movie, you wear clothes you find in the lost and found of a gymnasium. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think your quality of life is right.
Like, Venom is almost as good as the newest Predator.
So the Batman script for Matt Reeves' Batman is being polished up still, and we still won't know anything. They probably won't go into production until early 2020. It was believed that the movie was going to go into production late 2019 this year, but that ain't happening. So guess what? We still don't know who's going to be the new Cape Crusader, which I think is the most hilarious shit ever. Like, so again, I know people are going to think I'm one way or another when it comes to Marvel and DC, and I'm not. I want DC to succeed just as much as I want Marvel to succeed because I am a nerd. I'm a grown nerd. You know what I'm saying? I'm built like I just got out of prison, but I'm still a nerd at the same time. I want these to succeed. DC does well with their television shows. They do well with their animated films, their animated features. When it comes to the movies, there seems to be an issue. So now we don't know who's going to be Batman, right? And at the same time, we still don't know what's going on with the Flash movie. We know that, yes, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldsmith are writing the movie, and that's happening. That's cool. But we don't know who's going to be the Flash because it's not Ezra Miller anymore.
Well,
it's not Ezra Miller.
I thought Ezra Miller was writing his own version too.
Yeah, and the only reason he's doing it because he doesn't like the direction in which they have his Barry Allen, which is stupid, goofy, comedic, and stuff like that. The problem is you've played this type of Flash for 3 movies now, so you kind of stuck with that.
Yeah. I don't see how you just change it. Like, that doesn't really make any sense.
Well, because he wants to be more dark and brooding like he's been in the Fantastic Beasts movie. But here's the difference. In the Fantastic Beasts movie, you're talking about magic. In this one, you're a metahuman. You need to get your M's right. Your M's in order, fam.
That
sounds
that might be the best. That might be the best I've ever heard.
Get your M's in order, fam.
You got the wrong M, bruh. You got the wrong M.
Speaking of DC TV, Swamp Thing has officially wrapped on filming, and so it does drop May 31st. And remember, they got cut from 13 to 10 episodes. Now, I don't know if that is going to hinder what the direction of the season was going to be. I don't know if it makes it a quick cutoff where it's just like, hey, here's a cliffhanger, but you probably ain't getting nothing else. Or if it's a cliffhanger to say, look, you just got to wait and see what happens the next season if we get it.
I like the idea because one of the most jarring issue of any of the, and I know that, you know, it's Marvel, it's different, but the jarring issue of the Marvel Netflix shows were some of them could have been shortened to 10 episodes.
Oh, everybody said that. You definitely could have shortened. You could have shortened the first season of Iron Fist to 10 episodes. People may have actually given it a chance. You could have shortened The Punisher. You could have shortened Luke Cage. Daredevil at some point could have been 10 episodes.
Yeah. And you know, I'm always an advocate. Like a lot of people hate the 22 episode seasons of shows. Don't get me wrong. I love those. I can watch them week to week to week to week to week and just keep going. You can have that stuff. And I don't know if Swamp Thing's going to be a bingeable show or if it's, I assume it's going to be
none of their shows
weekly,
have been
just
bingeable.
like they have been.
Yeah.
But story arc wise, perhaps with the 10 episodes, they'll be able to keep a distinct story all the way through, and you don't have to worry about any filler episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get kind of understanding of how the show's going to go, maybe you could jump it back up to 13 for season 2 or whatnot.
Yeah, I will say this, like Doom Patrol, which, by the way, if anybody watches the Doom Patrol reviews with myself and Winston Marshall, I said on the most recent one, episode 12, it was the penultimate review because I thought episode 13 was the last episode. Turns out I was wrong as hell. They got 15 episodes. And
shit.
Right. See? They got 15, so I'm cool with that. And you know what the thing is? Doom Patrol has worked. It's worked. Now, I'll admit, from episode 1, I was like, man, I don't know if this is going to be worth doing it or anything.
Oh, come on, man. You know you like that Brendan Fraser ass.
Yo, Brendan Fraser's ass made me be like, I don't know if I can handle this in the whole show. But I've come to love how Brendan Fraser portrays the voice of Robot Man. Diane Guerrero is phenomenal as Crazy Jane. April Balby is doing her thing as Elasti-Woman. Matt Bomer as Negative Man is great. The Negative Spirit is an asshole, and I love that. We all need a negative spirit in our life. And I've grown on Javon Wade playing Cyborg. I've grown with that. So
okay, I'm glad to know you've grown because I've only seen so far I think 2.5 episodes. I'm very far behind. I love it. My only issue is I really liked Ray. What's his name? The Cyborg in the Justice League.
Ray Fisher.
Ray Fisher. I liked his Cyborg. I know I didn't grow up on the Teen Titans, so I don't really know the Cyborg character that well, but I did really enjoy what Ray Fisher was able to do. So the difference in how they are played between Doom Patrol and Justice League was kind of jarring to me, and I haven't really liked him, but I'm glad to know that he's grown on you. That gives me hope to continue watching and see where I end up liking him.
So to go exactly off that point, here's why it grew on me. Because at first I saw, like I said, I was the same way with Ray Fisher's Cyborg. I was like, give that man a chance since y'all took that man's movie away. And then I saw Javon Wade and I was like, oh, he's playing this similar Teen Titans-esque, with the hilarity and the over-the-top humor. But it works in what Doom Patrol is all together. You know what I'm saying? It works as a whole. So it grew on me, and I'm like, yo, I've been here for this whole season, which, by the way, check out episode 12's review with myself and Winston Marshall up on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAYWashington80. It is there, and the episode 13 review will be out this week, but of course. So make sure you go check that out, all right? Let's get into these last things I think we really got to talk about, and that's the Arrowverse shows. Arrow, bro. Roy got bloodlust. And I guess you are, because I just caught up on Arrow. I literally just, because I hadn't watched the last 2 months, so I literally just caught up. And I'm assuming you already talked about the episode before this Confessions with Spartan. Yeah, with his daddy. I was like, and this is how he becomes Jon Stewart.
I stood up and started screaming in my house. I'm like, did you see? It's Stewart. It's official. Did you see that? There's no one in my house, so I don't know who the fuck I'm talking to. But I'm like, did you see? It's Stewart. It's John. It's Green Lantern. Okay.
Wait. You were literally in your house yelling to yourself?
Yeah, there's no one here.
Now your neighbors are going to think you're special needs or you're an alcoholic. Now, if you let me talk to them, I'll tell them both. I'll be like,
I'm definitely an alcoholic. So
I'll be like, listen.
Right.
I'm like, yo, y'all really want to know he got problems, man. His mama don't hug him enough. Like, he just got to try to get his, he just got to get his shit in order. Like, it's just so bad.
But I really enjoyed this episode, Confession, because I always liked the Roy Harper character. I wish they would bring him back on a more permanent basis. I love that he's in the fast forwards. But I don't understand how we're going to tie things up with the fast forward and how we get to that dystopic future with what we have now.
Because it seems like things should be able to change.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue I have, but I do think Felicity getting stabbed in the future.
Yeah.
Because, they got to kill her off anyway. But, yeah, Roy has bloodlust, and then you have the different tales and the different accounts of one thing that happened or how these guards got murdered. And I loved it because every time you looked up, you was like, yo, who killed the person? And then I was like, oh, it's Roy. And I was like, cool. Okay. This was perfect. And then everybody was there like, yo, we got a lie together. Like the fact you found out all learned to do the same lie. I was like, that's ride or die friends for you. Those are the type of motherfuckers you want on your squad where everybody like,
my bullshit is your bullshit.
Right.
And your bullshit
is my bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So when I call you, it's like, help me. My basket got dropped on me. Help me. Help me. Nigga. Like, like that's what it is. But to see all that and how it worked out, and then the fact that Emiko told Oliver, like, yo, I blew up the Gambit and killed your daddy. Basically, I'm the reason you are who you are. Oliver had that look on his face like, bitch, I'll kill you.
And then to go even further, go, oh, and by the way, I got the security tape and I just sent it in.
Yeah, by the way, this SCPD just got a little thing, you know, because remember, all of a sudden, Felicity and Dinah thought each other cleaned the cameras. She's like, no, I just sent a nice little tape. And I know he was like, oh, shit, what I'm going to do now, Jesus? And then dropped a building on my man. Which, here's the thing for me. I'm all for seeing a building being dropped on Stephen Amell. Why? Because he don't want to wear the mask no more. I don't give a damn if your identity isn't known. You're still a Green Arrow. Put on the mask. So if you drop a building on him, I'm happy. Was that too much?
Nah.
Okay, cool. But we'll see how this goes. So I think it's either this week or next week is the final episode.
Is it? I'm not, you know, again, since I've been binge watching, catch up, and I've been watching them in order with all the shows, Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends. I'm so off guard on how many episodes are left of each and all that.
So do me a favor, let's do this, because I have not watched Supergirl at all this season. What Supergirl been up to? I saw they brought in the Red Sister. That has been very sparingly brought in. It just recently they'd show, it'd be like tags at the end of the episode where it's like, yo, she's still in Russia. And then most recently they had an episode where it showed how Lex Luthor was actually the one who has been teaching her and kind of bringing her up to speed with how the world works and everything, but she's still been Russian. So she's working with Lex. So we're working with the Russians, kind of like our current administration. Got it.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Got it.
So, and then, you know, they're working with the whole, Supergirl is now #1 most wanted because finally the Red Son or Red Daughter comes over dressed as the actual Supergirl and wipes out half the White House. So, yeah, now actual Supergirl is most wanted, so she is not around. It's just Carol Danvers. So they got Dreamer out there doing most of the stuff, and then Sam Witwer's character is still hunting down all the aliens, and it's it's entertaining. It's just kind of a lot of extra stuff.
You know, I feel like you really out here trying to reach to justify this season. You're just like, it's really, it happened.
Yeah, it's just like there's just I think there's too many different stories. Like Alex is getting a daughter now. Like her adoption stuff came through, and I'm like, do I really need this storyline?
You sound so hurt. You just sound hurt.
Jimmy Olsen has superpowers.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because he was dying, and Lena Luthor gave him this experimental drug to help him that she helped build with Lex. And so now he has all the superpowers of Superman.
Oh my God, no.
And so I'm like, again, does Jimmy Olsen really need to be a superhero?
Oh dear Jesus. Why is Jimmy Olsen a superhero? Doesn't need to happen.
And then it's like randomly Martian Manhunter is on Mars doing something.
See, this is not good.
That's Supergirl.
Yeah, so we're gonna move on from Supergirl. Clearly, if that's what Supergirl is, Jesus Christ. I told everybody from jump, I couldn't do season 4. I just couldn't do the season. It was beating you over the head too much, and I just could not find myself staying interacting with it.
It still beats you over the head.
See, so why am I gonna devote myself to that. If you know what I'm saying, if it's just beat me over the head, it makes no sense. Legends of Tomorrow has been so dope. Shouts out to Zari and Nate for getting it on. But here's the thing I love about Legends. They basically, Mona, Ava, and Sarah, and even Charlie have been telling Zari, just fuck them, for lack of better words, or just bone somebody else. I'm like, yo, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've been wanting out of content. Like, just go and bone somebody. Remember, she was gonna bone the God of Love dude, and she almost did. Like, go and get your freak on, girl. I was like, yes, encourage all of this.
I love Legends. I think Legends is really the strongest, and not so much because like the story is better or anything about it is. It's just the cast. They work so well together. I love watching these guys all interact with each other, and it's just fun to watch. I don't know so much if I really like this Mona character yet.
I don't. That's the one thing.
Okay.
Like, when she became the Copay and all this whole getting scratched, and now she got this ability to get mad, and she looks like the worst ever monster. Like, her special effects is just like, hey man, what we got in the closet? Can we use this to make her look like a half beast, half Hawaiian Asian monster? Because literally that's just all it is. It's like they just threw it together. They didn't really care about it.
Yeah, and I love Heatwaves is how he's this, romance writer, and that kind of stuff is all really fun.
You got to do your Mick Rory voice, like the mirror. She loves and she cares about things, and
I love him so much. And his interactions with everybody they're just great.
and the dope thing I love about it is too, we know their budget is minimal because you barely ever see the Atom be the Atom, and like we just now started seeing Steel be Steel again. Like, so you know their budget is just like, man, we got about $72 left. So what you think we should do? Like, it's literally how they treat their budget.
I'm not lying to you. I was marking out seeing Biff Tannen on the show too.
Oh man, when I saw Biff Tannen, I was like, they killed him. They killed his daddy. I was like, God, no. But that, and then like, okay, Neron has taken over Ray's body, which I'm like, okay, this means they're killing off Ray Palmer. I really believe they're going to kill Ray Palmer.
Ooh.
Well, because also, remember, the thing about Legends of Tomorrow is there's always going to be rotating members.
Yep.
And, so now,
you're about to get a whole bunch of new characters that don't have a show from Arrow.
Yes, you are. So now your core members are going to be just Mick and Sarah. Sarah, who's fun as hell to do interviews with, Mick, and Dominic Purcell, who's just like, man, I'm here.
I think he just has so much fun playing this character because all he gets to just sit around and eat and then randomly shoot a blaster and just make quirky remarks.
And it worked. You know what? If I could get probably a $60,000-$70,000 episode paycheck just to do nothing but shoot a blaster and make smart remarks, sign me up. Please do.
Yep.
The most disturbing thing I ever saw in this episode happened. I thought I saw something disturbing when I watched the Unicorn. First episode of the season, gore people to death. I laughed a lot of it. Not a lot of it. I laughed at a lot of it. What is a lot of it? I said I laughed at a lot of it, then said a lot of it. What is a lot of it?
It's a bit, but also a lot.
It just doesn't make sense. Gary got his nipple bit off by the Unicorn, right? And everybody was like, oh God, it's like Jaws. And then Neron gives him back his nipple in a case, like a ring. Like what?
Yep.
Who keeps a nipple on standby? Like, hey, fam, you know what I'm saying? I got a couple nipples laying around. This your nipple? Is this yours? This your complexion nipple? Your areola don't look the same. You know what I'm saying? Like,
whatever. It'll work. You'll be whole again.
You'll be whole again. Take the nipple. Like, oh, dear God. Oh.
And again, I'm not a huge fan of the Gary character, but that was an ordeal right there.
Him get his nipple back and become an evil. I was like, I guess that's what we're doing. And in the final DC Arrowverse show, let's talk about the Flash. Now, first and foremost,
I hear you. I'm getting the sense that you don't like the Flash right now.
Okay, so when it was Cicada, I didn't like Chris Klein. Everybody knows I didn't like Chris Klein's voice as Cicada.
Why didn't you like Chris Klein?
Just
he was in
that wheezing respirator. Like, I get he has a piece of metal in his chest. I get it. But God, it sounded like he was struggling too hard. Like he has to look at himself in the mirror before every take just to make sure he does the right voice. Then they went to Shicada. Shouts out to Rapid calling her that because it was the greatest shit ever. But then they went to her, the Grace, and I was like, all right, but I think it's kind of, I'm tired of us playing with this time travel thing. Because we already got, Nora. And I'm like, first of all, did she make, look, let's just say this. Nora had a basic teenage spaz out moment at her dad. Mm-hmm. You don't love me. You don't want me around. You hate me. You got Barry just sitting there like, oh, well, you know what? Damn, I'm sorry. Like, no, that's your fault. As a father, that's your fault. See, me, I have a teenage son. And you know what I do with my teenage son? Put the fear of God in his ass.
There you go.
Like, you spaz out on me all you want. I'm going to throw your ass through a wall and not fix it. Ain't going to be no, you spaz out and I don't know what we got to do to get her back right. But I was dope seeing old girl, who played the Bug-Eyed Bandit.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember her name on The Walking Dead. That shows you how long she's been dead.
Oh shit, yeah. I didn't even put that together. I just remembered her from The Flash.
You didn't remember that was her?
Yeah, I wasn't a huge Walking Dead. I quit very early on.
How? Wait, you quit very early on in The Walking Dead when it was good?
Yeah, I was over zombies, man. It was just zombies.
She played Beth in The Walking Dead. She was Beth. I couldn't remember her name. Right. I knew her name was Emily. I was like, is Emily her name or is the character? Emily is her actual name, Emily Kinney.
Yep.
Hey man, don't be dissing The Walking Dead, man. It was good. It was good. Now you can go ahead and diss the hell out of it because it doesn't make any sense. But what are your thoughts on this now? The whole Nora thing, the Thawne on death row, which I'm like, yo, we gonna see him be executed and all that other stuff.
I actually have, I'm very interested because I want to know where they are going to go with this because I think it is all leading to Thawne coming back to this time. And I think we're going to get another season of him being the villain, which I think would be freaking awesome.
Why?
Because I like getting to see the actor that plays Harrison Wells. I forget his freaking name.
Tom Cavanaugh.
I love watching him go between all these different versions of that character, and I loved him as the Reverse Flash, and I think the Reverse Flash is a really fun villain, and I'm okay with retreading, going back to a villain that we've seen before and have them come back, because in the comics it's not like hey, we beat the villain, we never have to see him again. No, they come back again every now and then with another plan. So it'd be kind of cool to see him come back again, and again, Arrow's ending. We don't know how much longer, if Flash can get a lot. Wouldn't it be cool if we get another season that ends the show with a villain that started the show?
I guess. I mean, you said it. I think you're going that logical way, which sounds great. But then again, it's the Flash. I mean, you're going logic. And so from there, I'm kind of like,
I will say, I think it was the 2 episodes ago, I loved the Godspeed costume. Yo,
so I saw the Godspeed episode, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, why the hell is the crotch accentuated? Out of all the episodes of all the speedsters, they did not put focus on the crotch area, but the Godspeed one was like, check out this lightning dick. And I was like, this is too much.
Yeah, but that white and gold looked dope.
Oh, that white and gold, that costume that was one of the dopest ones they've done.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to own that. Yes, I would like to be a thick ass Godspeed. Like,
yeah, I've turned my Flash on Injustice into that now.
As you should, man. I think that about wraps up all the news I got for this week, man.
When does this air?
It's coming out. So today is Monday. It'll be out tonight, Monday.
Okay, so then 2 days on the 8th, Lucifer drops on Netflix.
I cannot watch Lucifer. I can't, and it's not saying it's a bad show. I have too much shit I gotta watch and do already. I can't add that to the.
All right, well, I'll watch it for you and give you a little a recap of it.
And thank you. And that's how you become a saint. You know what I'm saying? That's how people show you how much they appreciate you. And there you have it. Before I go, man, let me give a lot of love to the members of the Supervillain Squad on Patreon, man. Thank you guys. Shout out to my newest patron, Marcus Burton. I appreciate you. Shout out to King J. Brown, Brandon Buckingham, California Joe, DJ Snacks, John Mariano, LK, Mikey Lito, Paisley Darts, Rudy Ueda, and Steve Tozen. Thank you guys. Now, you already know if you want to follow me on the Patreon, it's just a little bit of charge. But I think I'm adding another tier, and there's something special for people who join the tier. I think you're going to be able to get either a Black Villains Matter t-shirt, or B, a Supervillain Status t-shirt. So I'm figuring out which one we're going to do about that. So you might want to join the Patreon for that. All right. BC, as always, I'm regretful for having you on here. I really feel like I need to make better choices in my life, but go ahead and tell people how they can find you, bro.
You can find me on all social media at Real Jackass BC, RealJackass BC. My podcast, It Is What It Is with the Jackass, comes out every Thursday on Cinelinks.com. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/JackassNation, has movie reviews, trailer reactions, all that good stuff, matches from wrestling. Go check that out. If you're in Texas, if you're in Dallas, you can find me at Metroplex Wrestling this Saturday night. So come on out and check that out. 510 Harwood Road, Bedford, Texas. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. And the only thing I want to finish with is, Jay, do you think we're going to get a full trilogy of Venom? And if so, will it lead into Agent Venom?
You just really want to test my patience more than anybody in this world has ever tested my patience.
Absolutely. Because
I had a joke I was actually going to do about your Metroplex wrestling. I was like, oh, if young Metro don't trust you, I'm going to shoot you. And so, but you know, the feeling I had died when you brought that bullshit up about Venom. But anyway, as always, find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington. It's MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. You really should. Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JAYWashington80. That's where you get the Doom Patrol review. That's where you get any film reviews that I put up. And that is where you will also get trailer reactions. If you haven't seen my trailer reaction to Sonic the Hedgehog, what are you waiting on in your life? Go check out how a grown man in a onesie can be terrified by a CGI hedgehog. Yes, it is worthwhile, alright? I already told you about the Patreon, Supervillain Squad. You know how to join that, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. I've got so much coming up. Catch me every Thursday now on Collider Movie Talk. Every single Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you're in the mountains, and I know Central is 5, but other places, I ain't trying to figure that shit out for you. You go ahead and do a timetable chart on Google and see if you can find that out yourself, alright?
What time does it air in London?
I'm normally not supposed to have dead air on this, but I don't know what to say. And I'm so mad. And I'm telling you why I don't know what to say, because I'm mad with as soon as you said that, the moment you said that, the first thing that popped in my head was, how come every time you come around my London, I go there, I'm like, I don't know why that was the very first thing that popped in my head. Like London, they bring it down like London. Also, I didn't have any emails or phone calls for the Mad Titan Podcast hotline, but you can always join in. Give me a call, 818-276-6947, 818-276-6947. And if you are not in the United States and you can't make that phone call and you want to leave a message, what you can do is you can actually still record your message. Record it on your phone, whatever has a good mic, good sound quality. Record it and email it to me at madtitanpodcast@gmail.com, and I will play your questions and comments here on the show, and I will definitely answer them as well, and whatever guests I have, hopefully God, it won't be BC when I have more questions, okay? BC, I do want to thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody that's been listening, everybody that's joined on. Thank you, everybody that is currently watching me on Live AF. You guys are amazing as well. I will holler at you guys all next week. Till then, take care. I'm out of here. Peace.